Hello, golfers. Welcome back or welcome to JD Golf TV, your home for playing better, faster. Today's lesson is on why do you keep topping your fairway metals or fairway woods or whatever we call them nowadays. It's those long things with the fat head that's not quite a driver. Let's get after it. I'd like to thank our viewer and friend of mine, Tony Wright, for this question. And I got to tell you, my daughter says, Dad, I think it's weird, but it's so cool that when you go practice or we warm up for golf, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to practice very much except in here. But when I go to warm up to go play golf with, well, myself, anybody, I actually hit my forward. Or I hit my hybrid, but that's about it. And the reason is those golf clubs are an extra challenge. I've got to do the most correct version of my golf swing in order to land this aeroplane in the right spot. I want to show you what I'm playing with. This is a lovely Callaway. It's a 4-wood. It's not a 3-wood. I personally will not get a 3-wood up high enough to hit anywhere. Now, I also have a Ventus Red Velocore shaft. And there we go. It's a high launch shaft. I have a high launch head. I have about the highest launch shaft on the planet. Everything designed to help me hit the ball up in the air. Still, because of the length of the shaft, it remains a challenge to get. We have our trusty golf ball, and I hope you can see these lines. I have got to get this club leading edge below that equator, the red line, if this ball's going to go up in the air. Now, we tell you to hit down the golf ball to help you get the club down all the way. But truly speaking, folks, if we hit down too much on this driver, 4-wood, we're actually going to hit it too low. So I don't want to have a ton of attack angle, but I need to land my airplane in the right spot. Let's discuss Top Shot. Your club has come in too high. I'm hoping you remember our swing circle. The golf club is moving in an arc, folks, whether you want it to or not. Ain't no straight line. Well, your circle can be simply too high, right? Instead of being down here low enough, it could be too high. That's one kind of top shot. There is another kind of top shot where you have somehow moved your circle backward. We're going to discuss both of these, and we're going to start with the start. How you stood to the golf ball and what you're paying attention to. I'm going to demonstrate this law of the circle for you right here. A Top Shot by John Dunigan. You're welcome. I just missed the damn ball. I hit the very top of the golf ball. Could we just have a look at what could have caused that? You can see that our boy is set up with his sternoclavicular notch, the notch in his throat, pretty much right on center. Behind the ball a little bit, but pretty much right on center of his stance. Okay, fine. Now, the circle that we're talking about, here is the center of the circle. And you can call it, if you want, your bicycle wheel hub. And that is your tire. Now, we've got to get the bottom of this tire on this side of that golf ball, at least very close to the golf ball. And when Dunigan goes back on his back, so whoa, 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 whoa. During his windup, he just most unfortunately moved the center of his circle backward over here now. Oh boy. So that, folks, moved the entire big circle backward. Now, I'm sort of like this. And now look at how much that club is coming up into the golf ball. Ooh, baby, that's going to be a problem. Now, some of us do this and then have a nice, lovely Ben Hogan giant lean of the entire upper body toward the target. But in this case, it didn't happen. He just stayed back there, folks. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Guess what? I just gave you pretty much both problems all in one swing. Yay! So I have moved my circle backward. All right, I want you to watch this kid over here and see if you see anything that would move the circle upward. So let's say that this is approximately his spine. Okay, let's don't get too nervous about that, folks. It's close enough for jazz. All right. Oh, he rose up a little bit on the backswing, but that's not a big deal. As long as he comes back down. He came down a little bit. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. He did both kinds of top shots. Look at that kid go. He came backward on the backswing from the right-hand video. Then he came upward coming into impact. Hey, that is a textbook definition. That swing doesn't suck, by the way. I just missed the ball. Oh, look at that. Oh, baby, sometimes if I get really lucky, I can catch the golf ball. Look how much I've come out of my posture. Perfect example of how to cold top a golf ball. Well, there you go. But what do you do about it? What you do about it is this. All right, Dunigan, when you go back, now for me, I like to stay quite centered when I turn back. I like to make sure with my irons, and I've caught myself, I think it's my back doing it to me, tilting back. I didn't do it in that case because I've been practicing like this. Well, actually, I do that on the golf course now, like this. He's a great guy. Don't know him, but I follow him. Ryan Fox. And he tilts backward like this, like you can't believe, except his handle is like this at impact. That is the only combination that works, and you probably ain't going to pull that one off, folks. That's a work. Giving me 0.2 seconds to undo this, jump up out of the way. A really, really cool Max Homa, who just won this past weekend, trick is to actually stand up slightly on the backswing and then lower into the downswing like this. All right, let's see if you can do it, Dunigan. A little up. Oh, man. Folks, wait until you see this one. Now, you may be thinking that, damn, this Dunigan guy, he's just not cute like his wife says, but he's talented. But hey, look it. All it is I'm paying attention. I have a very good idea of where my body is in space, called proprioception, but I'm paying attention during the swing. So let's get rid of our crap over there, and I want you to watch. Let's look at the right-hand video first. So I got a little taller right there as I turned. Okay? Now, that helps us. That's a long drive move, by the way. Helps get the club grip farther away from the ball, which gives you more time to speed it up. Now, coming down, he actually went down. And now, all of a sudden, in one try, I stayed down through the golf ball. And what I was focusing on to do that is simply my shirt buttons going a little up on the backswing and then driving my shirt buttons down toward the golf ball into impact. Now, a lot of golfers flip the club head past the golf ball. And as you may have seen from other videos I've done, that's partly a solution, not a flaw. Now, here's the thing, though. If I stand up on the backswing and don't come back down, if I come up through impact, I've gotten too tall to reach the ground. The only way to reach the golf ball is to fish for it down here at the bottom. It's really important. So a lot of times when you're hitting this golf ball not the way you want to, you're doing something that sets up your brain for the only possible solution is to do something that looks like a flaw, but it's actually a solution. Now, I'm sure you've said, but Dunigan, if I move downward, I'm going to chunk it. And I would say, hey, cool. At least it ain't topped again. Reverse that on chipping. I'd rather you thin it than fat it. Well, in your full swing, if you do end up hitting the low point behind the ball, are you sure you didn't move backward? Or did you move backward during the downswing going down? That's chunky monkey. Great ice cream, crap golf. What you would do is you'd use what I call the downshift. In this case, we go up, there's the shirt buttons up here. We would drive the shirt buttons down and toward the target this way. And now my shirt buttons will be in front of the golf ball, or at least in front of the center line of my stance. And that will help the golf club bottom out on the correct side of the golf ball. And don't forget, one of the simplest things you could do is just spray the face with the old foot powder. We call it Dr. Dunigan's How to Make Your Golf Shots Not Stink. And go, I'll be darned. I hit the top quarter of the golf ball. Let me get it lower next time. That sometimes does work. Sometimes, however, it just plain doesn't work because there's something going on in the swing that makes it not work. Okay. Up, down, forward. Now, truly speaking, I'm just moving these shirt buttons down toward the target. And hey, my left leg is doing something really cool for me. Please revisit that lesson we had on this focus of attention business. It's a really big deal. Okay, got my ball location. Every once in a while, I get my ball location way too far forward. Well, what's happened? It's up on the circle again. So I got to keep checking. And I do this. I stole it from Jim Furyk at Hartfeld National, right over there, 15 minutes. And he would put his foot in gear first, then put the other foot, then flare out the foot. I thought that was genius. All right, up, move those shirt buttons down toward the target. Here we go. Okay, again, that ball was absolutely hammered. 1.51 smash factor. Sweet mama, that was good. Now, that one there, I did manage to hit down on the ball quite a bit more. I swung 5 degrees downward. Therefore, I bottomed out 4 inches after the golf ball. That's the A there. The ball did not get up in the air at all. Well, folks, with these fairway woods, we got to be just right. That was too much of a good thing. That's a great wind cheater. You might want to keep that in mind when you're trying to hit a ball into the wind, get over here at impact, or start out there. You don't have to do anything different. It's going to go lower. Let's look at that one too, though. All right, here he goes. A little up in the backswing. There's the downshift. Now, I do want you to notice that downshift, shirt buttons down and toward the target. So I got my shirt buttons right here, and I'm moving them this way, down and toward the target. We're going up, down toward the target. Now you remember that I love this idea of that left shoulder is right on my shoe. Oh, I just love that so much. That helps the ball strike. And we're coming down, and look at that guy. There's no ups in the downswing now. Got that? That's really, really, really cool. So hopefully now you can see that the top shot's not really a really big deal. You've moved the circle. And now you've got an idea of how to use your, everybody's got a phone with a camera on it now. Use that and take a look and take out the first thing that you see that caused a top shot. Okay? Start with, hey, could you do me a favor, just smack the ground a little bit? You can start with that if you want. But if that doesn't work, you're going to have to get in there a little bit more and take a look. Always start simplest, then get more complex as necessary. Sometimes, what happens is the way that we're moving, shirt buttons down really helped me right away. It's not the first time I've been there. But some folks may have to do something like this to help it. Take our trusty stick mobility stick. These are good. This is part of my warm-ups. I stretch it. Oh, baby. All right, here we go. Okay. And to get the feel, and I won't use a dry fire golf swings very often, folks. I'm not a big fan of no golf ball because the task is divorced from the actual reality. But to get a feel, when I go back, some folks on the backswing, they actually straighten up the left shoulder. That's another way of standing up, which is not good. okay? But in this case, so maybe up, down doesn't work for you. It works for me. It works for Max Homa. Maybe you need to go, all right, scrape the ground if you can. Now scrape the ground with the others. Now, oh my goodness, this looks just like the other way, doesn't it? But it's a totally different feel. Now I'll use the shirt seam here and the shirt seam here. Okay, down, down. Now you're seeing that this is shifting me, right? Folks, look at me. If you do this shoulder turn exercise and you just take the shoulder down, you may take it down and backwards. How am I doing now? Folks, I'm going to hit 47 degrees up on my driver right now. The good news is I'm not going to lose a golf ball. The bad news is I'm not going to actually hit it. So when you're doing this kind of turning exercise, you've got to feel yourself going on the front foot like this. And turn through, down, turn through, down, turn through. Okay, let's see. All right, so totally different feel than the other one. All right, very similar to the other one. Different feel on the backswing by a ton, though. All right. That one there, hey, I hit that a bunch higher. I still bottomed out 2.6 inches after the golf ball, which is about right for a fairway wood. You can get away with 1.5 inches, folks, but boy, it better be a good lie. There goes the left shoulder down. Now, again, for some people, they'll just jump up on the downswing. So here I'm going to go forward toward the front shoe. Yes, and right shoulder down. Beautiful impact condition, but I'm really on my front foot there, folks. And there's the right shoulder under the chin there. Okay? Now, you golfers surely know that the chicken wing is causing that business as well. Because the chicken wing takes our circle and pulls it up away from the ground. Shame on you. If you are doing that, I want you to understand, I wish I had an assistant here. Hold on to this club head and let me pull it away from you. That's what's going on, which is anti-golf. That's not golf. We want to feel more like we're kind of throwing it. See how nice and straight my arms go? They don't go straight because I'm rigid. They go straight because I'm more throwing the club down out that way. Okay? Now, for this one, you may indeed, if you have this ingrained pulling, chicken winging motion, instead of throwing your frisbee or throwing the ball sidearm, well, then you may have to go like this. You may have to get some here and go, okay, backswing. Oh, baby, that's good. Notice that release there. It's a really big deal. I'm going to do that a couple times. We're going to look at that. If this is the solution, fantastic. But again, the video is going to tell you. Here you go. I'll give it to you. Why not? I see this from new students and some people who have been playing for years and years and years fairly often. They go back. I missed the ball, coach. There it is. There's a completely perfect topped golf ball. You saw it. Unfortunately, the shot was so bad, TrackMan didn't get it, so I don't have it on video for you, but you saw it live, folks. I almost hit myself in the forehead with that. Well, here's the idea. I got to throw down. All right. Here we go. And see that club just kind of releases up for me? Man, when I can get that into my full swing, that club's going to go even faster. Oh, that's it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm throwing. I'm throwing. Let's look at that. This goes under the heading of swing those arms. Look at that guy go. He's just swinging the arms downward, not at the ball, right past the golf ball to about a foot out in front of it. Now, I kept my body out of that nicely on the through swing. Not that that's a good thing, right? But I'm just working on the arm throw there. Okay? You could do a lot of that for yourself if you have the chicken wing problem. Notice, that right arm is still straight. It looks like Rory McIlroy, except Rory McIlroy does not have this sexiness right there on him. but the club flips right back up. That's a release. Folks, I think we have covered how to cure the top shots. That's going to go for every shot, every club in the bag. That stuff will work for you. You got to check out which of the flaws you have and eliminate it. Got it? All right, get after it.